everyone, thanks so much for being here today. I'm Instructor Dwayne Jenkins. In today's video lesson, we're going to be talking a little bit about the modes. I've had some people ask me about the modes and how to find them and how they work and everything. So we're going to be doing our lesson on that today, on how you can find these notes, okay? They're based off, your modes are based off your major scale. And if you go, your major scale has 8 notes, I guess you could say 7, with 1 and 8 being the same. And those scales are based off of those tone degrees. And then today we're going to talk about how to find the notes. Even if you don't know them, I'll show you how to find them. Each one of them is going to have the major scale in there. And we'll take a look at that today, okay? Let's check it out.
Audio Jungle.
Alright, now our modes are really similar to our minor pentatonics, okay? Except for the fact that they work off of our major scale, so we're not going to be flattening the 3rd, we're not going to be flattening the 7th, okay? Like I talked about in my other video on the minor pentatonics. And if you have questions about that, check that out on my YouTube videos, on my YouTube channel. But our modes are based off of the major scale, okay? Like for instance, if we were playing in G major, okay, we have 2 ways of finding that scale. We could go along the fretboard like this. And your major scale should always have that do, re, mi, okay? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And then and if you went across the fretboard, it would be like this. So you can still hear that do, re, mi, and we're going across the scale. See, so we went to 2 octaves there across the fretboard, okay? So that's your Ionian mode, and you put this note in there. That's your Ionian mode right there, that first major scale. Now your modes are based off of your tone degrees. If you went along the fretboard, that's where your modes would be. Your first mode would be on the 1st tone degree, second mode would be the 2nd tone degree, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and then back to the 1st again on the 8th note, okay? That's how you find them, by knowing that major scale. You gotta know your major scale, okay? Very, very important, all right? That's why I emphasize knowing your notes. Know your notes. It's gonna make this stuff so much easier to find and understand how it works. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of guitar players have a hard time with this stuff, is they don't take the time to learn their notes. They all play by ear and try to just figure it out and what sounds good and see, oh, those 2 notes sound good, yeah. But what happens is if you try to improvise over a melody and you don't, you can't remember those notes for some reason, those intervals, then you start playing bad notes, okay? But if you know your notes and you know these patterns, you're not going to have that problem, okay? That's why I highly recommend you learn your notes. Now, for instance, let's say we're going to try to find the notes in the Dorian mode, okay? Now we know that we have to find that major scale, and that major scale is going to be in every single one of these patterns, okay, these modes, all right? So let's say we're in G, we went do, re, mi, we know that it's going to be right there, so we're going to have these 2 notes at least. The 3 and the 4 are always next to each other in the major scale all the time, okay? So if you can find the 3, you should know that the 4 is going to be right next to it, okay? So that's kind of a trick of the trade there. Know that your 3 and 4 are always going to be right next to each other, okay? Unless you do a flat 3rd, which then they're going to be a whole step away from each other. But we're playing a major scale, so if you play the minor scale, the 3rd and the 4th are going to have a whole step between them, which is 2 frets. If you're playing a major scale, the 3rd and 4th are going to be right next to each other, okay? Half step apart, all right? So since we're playing a major scale, and we're trying to find the notes to the Dorian mode, which is the 2nd mode in the scale, then we would go do, re, mi, fa. We know it's those right there, so we could go. We know it's that note. We can hear it. We know it's not that one. That don't sound right. No, see, we know it's not that note. It's this one. So no, it's not that one. There we go. And then do we have this note in there? Nah, that don't sound right. Not in the key of G. See, that's not right. So we know that note's not in there. So then it's got to be this note right here. Is that correct? Let's find out. Let's see. Nope, sorry. We know it's not that note. That note, that's what it is right there. Okay, so that tells us what's on this string. Okay, so now we know we have a do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Nope, that's not T. T is right there. See, if you can really say that major scale in your head and do it with the strings, you'll be able to find the notes a lot easier too. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. See, once again, the 7 and the 8 are going to be next to each other, and your 3 and 4 are going to be next to each other. That's another thing you want to remember too with your major scale, that your 3 and 4 and your 7, 8 are going to be close, are going to be next to each other in this, and just in your traditional major scale. Okay, so right off the bat, we know it's those notes right there. So we start off the Dorian mode. It's going to be on the 2nd position. It's going to start right here at the 5th fret in the key of G. See right there, that tells us those are the notes right there. So we can just hear that we're in the key of G major. Even though we're starting on the 5th fret, which is an A note, if we play the proper notes, we're going to be able to find the mode, the Dorian mode. See, and we can even do that too. But see how you can hear that major scale. So all that right there from here to here was all in the key of G, G major, okay? And you could hear that major scale all in there, okay? That's how you find the notes. If you're gonna look for your Phrygian mode, which is right here, it's gonna be a different note sequence than the Dorian mode. It's actually because we're gonna start with that 3rd, right? 1, 2, 3, and then we know the 4 is right next to it. That's what we discussed in the 2nd mode. So we know it's going to be 3, 4, 5. See, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That tells us right off the bat we're starting on the 3rd, 4th, 5th is a whole step. Here's the 6th. 6th and the 7th is a whole step, and the 8 right next to it. Okay, do you see how that works? And you'll know if you're not hitting the proper notes. You'll be able to hear it. But see, it just takes practice to do that, to know those. And if you need help with that, that's what you want to study with that, is study those note intervals. And each pattern, what's great about this is each scale pattern is going to be different. So it's going to give you a little bit of a different flavor. But each one of them is going to have that major scale in there, okay? Each one of them. And you can even do stuff like that with just, just like that, just a couple of strings. See? Key of G. Simple. But you got to know your notes, got to practice, study those patterns. All right, so there we have it. Just a quick little lesson on the modes, on how to find the notes. You just got to find your main tone degree that you're working in, the key you're working in. The example I showed you, we're working in the key of G major. And you just go through, you got to know that those intervals on that major scale. So those intervals are going to tell you where those modes are. The Ionian, the Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, so forth, so forth. Okay, your Aeolian is going to be your natural minor. Okay. That's always going to be on your 6th, if you master those tone degrees, you're going to know where they're located at, and you're going to find them every single time, and then be able to play in key no matter where you're at on the fretboard, okay? Similar to the pentatonics, but a little bit more advanced because you're working with the major scale, and you're not having to flatten the 3rd and the 7 like you do in the minor pentatonics, okay? And if you need to know a little bit more about this, you don't quite understand it, I highly recommend you check out my book, Lead Guitar Wizardry Volume 2. This is going to be coming out on July 10th on Amazon. You can ready for pre-order right now if you want to check it out. I've got Volume 1 and Volume 2, so if you're just getting started playing lead guitar, I would recommend you get Volume 1. That shows you the minor pentatonics and some licks and stuff that that you can do with that, how to get started, the fundamental principles. Now, if you've already gotten started, you know your pentatonics, you know you know how to play solos already, but you want to take it to another level, maybe study your modes, some of your harmonic minors, melodic minors, that kind of stuff, double stops, harmony notes, octaves, that kind of thing, to add to your lead guitar playing. And I'd highly recommend check out this book, Lead Guitar Wizardry Volume 2, because it goes through all that stuff, and I have the diagrams in there and show you all kinds of cool stuff. And I show you also not only the 7 modes, but I also show you how you can play licks and phrases within the modes, because that's what you want to do too. Guitar solos aren't just about knowing the scales or knowing guitar licks. It's about phrasing. If you listen to guitar solos, really good ones by the masters like Hendrix and Clapton and Page and Angus Young and Tony Iommi and, you know, Leonard Skinner's and all of them. There's so many more, you know, Randy Rhoads, Van Halen, you know, more and more, Satriani, all those guys. They have all great phrasing, you know. They know how to stop notes, how to extend notes, how to bend, how to do hammer-ons, pull-offs, kind of like you're singing with your guitar. That's what a guitar solo is. It's kind of like when the guitarist takes kind of a vocal line, you know, because in a song the vocalist is singing and then all of a sudden the guitar solo comes. That's when the guitar player gets to kind of sing too, and that's what's really neat about it, doing guitar solos. So if you're interested in playing guitar solos, check this out. I'm telling you, check out my books, Lead Guitar Wizardry Volume 1 and Volume 2. You can find them on Amazon, find them in my eBay store. They're going to be coming out, officially be out on July 10th. Check it out. It's got this book's got all kinds of great stuff in it to really help you improve your lead guitar playing. All right, so visit my website, sign up for my email guitar club so that you'll get some free lessons and some really good pointers and tips to help you play your favorite songs sent to you weekly. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to give me leave a comment below. If you're working on something, you need help with something, let me know. I'll be happy to shoot a video for you. All right? So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Keep practicing, and I'll see you at our next video lesson. Thanks.